Hello, party people, and welcome to Lunch with the Boys. No, you don't like party people?
I don't hate party people.
Well,
I
it's
feel
not.
like that was a pretty improv moment from you there, so I respect it. I don't think you were thinking about saying party people up until you were saying party people.
Sometimes you got to say party people, though. You don't think I was
Only if the people are partying.
prepped with the party people? Now,
You
one
say, "Hey,
second.
party people" to a bunch of people not partying. Then you got a bunch of party poopers.
Yeah, we don't want party poopers. We don't do party
No party
poopers up in
poopers
here.
here. Not
But
today.
hey,
It's Good
hey, hey,
Tuesday.
hey,
No party poopers.
let me get this link out. Let me do the copy paste. We
Copy
got all the
pasta.
things going on. But today, I thought we would jump in and I thought we would spend some time talking about local events, shows, and things like that. I think we talked about PubCon a couple of weeks ago and
Yeah.
going to like shows if you are like a small business owner and you're like, hey, you want to go like learn things? Go learn things. It might have been on the Joey Matterhorn channel. But I thought we would dive more into like local events, local shows, and things like that mainly because I went to we do art prize. We do like an art show around here in Grand Rapids every year. And whenever that's going on, it's like a big art show going across all of downtown. And you're basically walking across all downtown, going art exhibit to art exhibit. And there are any number of businesses that you're going into. They participate in art prize. So for example, the hair salon that I go to, they participate in art prize. They had like three different art installations in their business during art prize, and it's super cool. A lot of businesses do this type of thing. They get involved with the community, and I thought that would be something to kind of highlight and talk about for small businesses, kind of where you go to find these events, how you get involved, what you need to do in order to get involved, and what you need to be doing at these events to have them go successfully. And then finally, kind of what you come out with on the other end. What is your goal? How are you accomplishing your goal at these events? What types of events are you going to do? What can your service participate in? What can your business participate in? And actually, get an ROI for
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of benefits to getting out there to shows. Be it from just kind of getting your brand out there in front of more eyes, getting yourself visible. A lot of great networking opportunities.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of different chances for you to kind of get out there and really grow your presence. Kind of outside of that online field, which is where we kind of specialize. This is a little bit more brick and mortar, a little more boots on the ground.
Yeah, get the boots on the ground. And I think it's important to note because we are so digitally focused. Like all of my like skills and understanding are focused on how do I get you ranked on Google? How do I get people finding your business organically? When people are starting to search, and now with recent AI, well, if someone's searching your businesses in ChatGPT, how do I get you to show up there? How do I get your businesses to show up online? Now, one of the like untold or unsung heroes, I feel like, for small businesses is showing up in person and getting people to Google you and look you up and building those relationships. And so I want to start with what like events do you go to? Like, what are your personal like?
Um, so as far as like events that I go to, like I don't go to a crazy amount. I've been out there to like the Grand Rapids Comic Con. I've like gone to like that.
Comic Con? Well,
I,
okay,
I do I do smaller like not maybe like you do like when you go out to like your like card events and stuff like that.
the trade shows and stuff.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, or like even like your like draft open packs and or draft like events. Like I feel like
Oh
that's
yeah,
a bit
yeah,
much.
yeah.
That's a smaller scale, but that's still a show. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's putting on an event and it's also having the opportunity to have vendors and stuff there if you want.
yeah.
100%.
Every now and then, I go out there like play like Saturday night cards or something like that, or like Tuesday night cards and stuff like that. At like these like game show or not game show, game
Games, shops. Yeah.
stores, shops. Yeah. Outside of that, I've done quite a few shows going back to my favorite thing to reference here on the podcast, my time at the bath company. Who'd have thought that the time at the bath company would pay out so much in experiences for me to talk about?
Well, and
Um,
it's I find it kind of funny because I go back to my own experience of like being a server, working in retail, being like boots on the ground because those are the times when we were boots on the ground, less so when we've been like digitally focused. Like I haven't worked in a retail setting in quite a few years. I'm sure not I'm sure a lot has changed, but also not much at the same time.
Right. Like I can't imagine it's that much of an involving landscape that like it's going to be like totally different.
Yeah.
But with my time there, like what I started out doing there was shows,
Mhm.
like I was hired to be the guy who goes out to like the home and garden shows and like set up the booth and sit there and try and acquire leads at your booth and everything like that.
Yeah, quite
Uh,
literally exactly what we're talking about here is doing
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, I've done that at home and garden shows. I've done it at like women's expos.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them that mostly every one of them has happened at like DeVos here in Grand Rapids. I've gone to like there was like this like Riverside thing that they were doing out Lowell. Is it Lowell? That's like
Lowell
just
nearby.
outside
Yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's got like a river cutting through it. I've gone out to like that and did it. It's fun. It's always a good time to get out there, get on your feet and kind of, interact with a bunch of people. It's always a good time. And you
Yeah,
get a bunch of
so
free swag too. That's always nice.
well, exactly. And so with that said, that whole scenario with Bath Planet is literally exactly what I'm imagining for small business owners is okay, Bath Planet, sure, you're not a big giant corporation like Bath Planet, but say you own a lawn care company, go out there and sponsor some of these like cancer walks, get a booth out there, get your people out there, hand out little merch. I'm imagining
Run
like
a
funny
special.
lawn care shirts and stuff.
Run like a special for the event where it's like, hey, if you sign up to have us come out and quote your lawn, we'll take 20% off the top or something like that for like the first two
Exactly.
jobs or whatever. Give
And
a
there's
benefit to them doing it. Like you got to create a little urgency,
create
like,
urgency and
hey,
then create incentive for them to contact you. But it's more so like, okay, there's those types of events where you're like, okay, charity events, you're like setting something up. There's the events at like DeVos where you're okay, wedding convention. Like I'm imagining because they do those all the time over
yeah,
here where
they
it's
do them
like,
every year. It's
yeah,
April. They do that
they
every year.
do wedding conventions and stuff like that. And so you can go rent a booth and set up and sell to people who are interested in weddings. And so if you can find a convention like that that pertains to your industry, that's phenomenal. I wanted to stop because you mentioned like going to game stores and stuff like that. And I think it's really funny. There's when they put on big events like that, there's usually food trucks involved. So it's like a combo event where you're like, I would go to RCQs or like qualifier events that would
Mm-hmm.
have, a couple hundred people. And outside the venue, there would always be like a line of
Taco
food
truck.
trucks. And normally, when you have the bigger events, not just like your local every week events, but like monthly or bi monthly events
Yeah.
with hundreds of people, you have multiple vendors who show up and they're like, I'm selling my cards here. I'm an artist and I'm selling my art here. I'm selling my like tangentially related merch here, stuff like that. And it's a really, really cool time and opportunity to get your name out there, build your name up in a specific community. I think you just need to find what events work for your business more than anything.
Yeah.
Like it, I'm trying to think of like a bad example. Like if you're a lawn care company, you don't want to be advertising in a gym. You don't
Right.
want to be advertising at a game show. You want to be advertising in a way
Yeah.
that actually makes sense.
Yeah, if you're a bath company, you probably do, if you're selling $20,000 bathtubs, probably don't have a showroom in the mall.
The people who go to the mall obviously have a lot of money, don't
I'm
they?
sure I'm sure all those teenagers were really excited to come in there and look at those bathtubs.
Oh my goodness. I don't understand what the
It was a
whole
crazy concept. And like there were times where it worked, like in
yeah.
theory, it's like you run one sale out of there and you sell a like, $16,000 tub. In theory, that paid for, that like paid for the showroom for the month, but then there's a bunch of extra overhead that goes into it, the employees that you have in
Employees.
there and stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
the
I
headache.
don't know. I always thought it was crazy, but I also never complained because it was pretty kosher.
Well, exactly. It's like it worked out, but not the greatest like business idea.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're talking about like local events. There's like the business expos, trade shows. There's like the community fairs and festivals like Art Prize. There was one when I was like doing some googling that I've never been to, but I know Eric has done, and I'm very tempted to like ask him a little bit more about it. But there's Chamber of Commerce mixers, and there's these like
Hmm.
government organizations where you can kind of get in there, like I know Chamber of Commerce is one because Eric participated in it for the longest time, and he would go and they would meet up, and it's basically a bunch of business owners who are like, "Hey, we all own businesses. How can we help each other out? Can we, you know,
Yeah.
all a bunch of business owners hanging out," which is getting into like the whole idea of networking and like getting together to,
Yeah.
expand ideas and well, network basically, which I think
Yeah.
is networking is one of the big things that I think small businesses need to do more of.
Yeah. Like I feel like there's probably all sorts of like little networking events that you just don't hear about happening as often. There was something that like I remember I was supposed to be going into like Facebook groups and making posts and something, and I remember like going through them and being like, wow, all these groups that I'm looking at have people where it's like, yeah, come meet up with us. We're doing this little like event thing where we're gathering up, and I'm like, I didn't realize like these groups like were so active in actually having people like, yeah, we're doing like a party in this group where it's like, oh man, like
Yeah.
10, 15 people are meeting up. This is such a good networking experience that I would have thought people were only able to like get on Facebook and like message each other. It's like, no, they're actually planning this and getting out there, and that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on locally where you can come in last minute and engage with the community in a very like interesting and cool way. I think all of those like viral, oh, I'm down on my luck, and then all the big brands reach out and like, let's help you out. We're here. We can
Yeah.
do this. Blah blah blah. Like being involved in those types of things, being able to help out the community is really cool. But also, like being in those local groups and recognizing when someone asks, "Hey, does anyone know anyone who does this service?" Having an active social media presence, being in that group and being able to respond, "I do that service. Here's my website. Here's what I do." Like that's just a phenomenal opportunity for people.
Yeah.
Not even drawing away from the fact that yeah, people meet up in these groups. Like I'm involved in a Facebook group for my apartment complex. There's like 400 or 500 people in it because it's a big apartment complex, and we have community events in there.
Yeah.
Like we have a food truck that comes to the apartment every single day. We have a calendar in our group about which food trucks are going to be there. We have buy and sell in the group. We have people who are every once in a while they have a small business that comes through. Really funny actually. Have you heard any of the like vending machine, like the trading card vending machine
Yeah.
talk or stuff like that?
Yeah.
So we got one put in at my apartment complex.
Oh.
And so they made an announcement in our group. Yeah, so we have a trading card vending machine, and it has like Labubus
You
and stuff in
I was
it, man.
gonna say you're
It has it all.
single-handedly keeping that thing paid.
Oh, I've never purchased anything from it, but it actually has pretty good prices, and it's a really nice machine. There's
Have you
two of them.
bought anything from it? I buy things from it.
Well,
I'd be going down there at 2 a.m. to get my fix. I'll be like, I
luckily,
gotta rip it
I
back.
luckily I'm not there yet. I've got a little bit more of the like self control, and I'm also trying to save money. I just bought that new computer. That new computer, man, that wiped out anything that I had saved up.
Yeah, it'll do that. It'll do that. I have last time we were like in the pod last week, I think we were talking a little bit about donating plasma. I've been doing my fair little bit of research. I'm probably gonna be doing that this weekend.
Did you? So funny enough, funny that you mentioned that. This week, this whole week since we've done that, I've been getting CSL plasma ads in my Facebook.
I have been too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
I
seven
mean,
hundred and
I've
fifty
been getting
dollars the
BioLife
first
ones,
month or
but yeah,
whatever. What?
I've been getting BioLife ones, but yeah,
Uh, well, CSL, BioLife, whatever. We're all getting the plasma ads.
yeah.
$750 in your first like 3 weeks or
Yeah,
four
in like
weeks
your
or whatever.
first month of doing it.
Yeah,
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 buddy.
yeah. I'm gonna get in on that. I'm gonna get in on that
Honestly,
for sure. I just hope it works. Like I said, last time I've been like I used to do it a bunch, and then all of a sudden like I gained a bunch of weight, and then like I wasn't getting like a good blood flow into the machine,
mhm.
and like so like they were like, hey man, the draw is taking too long. Like we can't have you do this anymore, and so I had to stop doing it.
That's so
Um,
crazy to me.
yeah. So I'm
Also,
hoping with the weight loss and like as much water as I drink now that hopefully I got a nice little flow going,
yeah,
flow state as we call
I
it.
was gonna say that's the type of thing that you probably like. I'd go talk to a doctor about that too because like that's not good. Blood's got to flow, man.
Like it's just they're just like it's just like a smaller vein. It was like harder to kind of get the flow. And like
Mm,
with plasma, they have to get it here.
yeah,
They can't do like here or here or anything like that. It's got to come from there. And so like if like you were like tightened up, if you had like a small vein there and like just kind of like dehydrated and fat, It just is
It
tough
just
to,
tightens up.
yeah.
I mean, I also know the phlebotomists at the plasma places are not the most talented. Um,
No, no, I've had a friend like they've like ruptured my friend's vein like 3 different times. And like he comes and he's like, they did it again, and it's just like a bruise. Like, oh,
oh,
all right.
it is so bad when they do that too. The bruise looks awful.
Yeah. They yelled at my friend because like it was like pumping saline back in, like out of the vein, like into his arm. And like he like started like trying to stop the machine because he's like, this fucking sucks. And they were like, you can't touch that, you can't touch that. And he's like, well, then I'm gonna rip this out of my arm.
That's oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't handle that, man.
Yeah.
See, I'm
Fine with it.
so bad at handling medical related issues and medical related like difficulties. I
Yeah.
cannot for the life of me. Whew, it like I'm cringing even just thinking about it. Like,
Yeah. No,
oh,
I get that. Yeah, I get like that a lot when like Colton or someone sits there and tells me about things from like a hospital, and I'm like sitting there just trying to be like, yeah, dude, yeah, and I'm like,
nope, nope.
stop,
Please stop. Ugh. So to bring it back around, you're a small business owner. When you are getting ready for your event, if you're going to like a community fair, you're going to a festival, you're going to a trade show, what are the types of things that you want to get ready ahead of time? What do you want to do to like be prepared before the event? And I think
uh,
there's a lot of really basic ones to nail on the head right away.
depending on the type of event that you're going to, if you're like setting up a booth, you obviously want your decor and everything that you're going to have for your booth all set up. You want to have something that people are going to remember, and also something that's going to draw people in.
Hmm.
um like then that goes all the way down to like promotional like paperwork, signage, anything like that.
Yeah,
Especially if you're running a deal like for the event, like I mentioned earlier, hey, special sign up here at the event, get 20% off. You want that posted up as big as you can to draw people in, because again, the biggest thing at those events is like you're seeing people one time. They pass by you, you see them one time for the most part. You have to create urgency.
hmm,
So like anything you can to make them be like, oh, I need to go do this now before like I'm gone today. Um, so that like setting up your booth is a big one. Planning out whatever promotion you're going to do at the show is going to be a big one as well. Um, and then I would say it's kind of like making sure you have the right people in the booth. I don't know, like a small business, it might just be you, and if it's just you
yeah,
working, uh, if you're a pretty like antisocial extrovert kind of guy, or sorry, introvert,
introvert, yeah,
uh, you know, um, and like you struggle to like talk to people, you know, try and break down that barrier as best you can before you go, because like
yeah,
what you're doing is you got to stand there and you got to be like, hey, come over here to come talk to me, and you got to do that to every person passing by you.
yeah.
You got to be like, hey, come see what I got to offer, come see what I got to offer. And then 80% of the people, they're not even going to say no, they're just going to like ignore you. And that is a tough thing to like build up that resistance.
I was
that
gonna
that
say,
was
and you're
like,
speaking from experience right
yeah,
now, right?
yeah, and, like they will straight up ignore you, and you have to like just be like, whatever, move on to the next one. I would almost always be like, all right, Dick, under my breath or something like that, and move on, because I can't help myself. Um,
I mean,
but
it
yeah,
takes a special person because, like, especially if you're doing it, like, it's not catcalling, but it's almost like you're catcalling
it's
people. You
kind
have
of
to
like
go outside the
catcalling, yeah,
business and,
like I
like,
feel like it is
hey, why
now.
don't you come over here check this out? I think of like the mall hawkers, 100% the people
Yeah.
who like man of those like center booths or like the screen repairs and places like that where they're always calling out and like, hey, come check this out. Come,
Yeah.
I'll wash your one shoe for free and then charge you double for the second so that you don't want to walk around with whatever. Like there's
Um,
little tricks and they do the whole come out there and grab you.
Yeah, and like in training, it was like they always tried to have me be like, "Hey, this is what you say if people pass." They would always want me to be like, "How's your bath at home?" As like people would pass by and like motion back to try and like lead them into it, and it's
Mhm.
like nobody cared about that. Like I did better if I would like look at them and be like, "Hey, I really like your shoes. I like your shirt." Connect with them first and be like,
Yep.
"Hey, do you got a sec to hear what I got to talk about?" Like something like that. Like each person was so like you got to be unique to them. But like my bosses were always like, no, use our cookie cutter script. And I was like, I don't do as well with that.
Well, and
And
that's I will say that's 100% sales. Like we've
Yeah.
all watched Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
They had a script. You follow that script, the script works. Don't not follow the script. And
So
Joe's
the
really
script
similar, where he's like,
worked.
"Hey, this is what I've done, and this is what works. I know that you don't like it, but we're gonna do it this way."
Yeah.
And that's not
So
always right. It depends on who you're trying to reach, because
exactly.
you're not going to get me as one of your clients if you're hawking out to me and trying to like get me to come in.
Yeah. If it sounds to me like you're saying the same thing you've said 100 times, that doesn't speak to me. I need
Hmm.
someone who connects with me,
Yeah,
and you don't get that through a script. Now that being said, I get where scripts work for people who like maybe are those introverts that struggle a little bit more to like talk to someone. It's like, yeah, I have this script, it helps me get through it, and it works. I close every 4 or 5 people, and it's like, well, yeah, but now the people who are really good at talking to people are closing every 2 or 3 people, and they aren't using the script at all, because they just have a natural affinity to be able to be like, hey, you know, connection formed. I can talk to you, and I can tell you, I can look at you
yeah.
and know what I need to say to you to get this sale done.
Yeah, and I can 100% agree with that. But on the other end of the spectrum, law of large numbers, not every single employee that Bath Planets hires is going to be able to do that. So they're going to give you a script and demand everyone do it because they
I
have
know.
100 people and they have one manager for all 100 of those people, and they don't have sales training and getting you up to date and being like, "Yeah, that works. Sure, you're doing
Yeah.
a great job." They just have one salesperson and their one line is do it the way the script says because the script works and it comes from corporate and we're doing exactly
Yeah.
what they say. And that's it takes the human out of
It
it.
was
I don't know that that's right, but I can
it,
understand it.
it was
Big
so
business
funny.
is doing
So Bath Planet is like franchised out,
that.
so like it wasn't like a corporate script that we were sent. It was like the owner of our franchise who like had like 12 employees. So like he was like working with like 12 people, and he hired like the marketing guy who like hired me. And like
Yeah.
this guy had no like marketing college experience at all, but like
Hmm.
thought he definitely thought he was like a marketing guru genius. And I know that because when he set up, like he was the one who like built our like he like designed the showrooms in the mall. And one of them, it was like here's our story of like like the owner buying Bath Planet and setting everything up. And in it he was like, and along the way he hired marketing genius extraordinaire and like put his name down.
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I don't know that I've called myself marketing genius extraordinaire, but I am out here saying if you want your small business to rank on Google, schedule a meeting with me right now because I can do it. Don't you're sitting here pointing. I'm gonna get the link. I'm gonna go get the link. Schedule a meeting with me, and that's I. It's weird because like you have to have an ego to do that. Like I have to sit here and like egotistically be like, I can help your business.
Yeah.
Literally, I can, and it's a different mindset. It's one I'm not necessarily used to having, but I'm kind of here for it. I'm
So
getting
yeah,
better at it.
like I've always considered myself to be like, like when they're like, pessimist, optimist, which one are you? And I'm like, well, there's a middle ground there of like realist, but
Hmm.
then I also find myself falling more to like the pessimist side. So like it was always hard to think of myself as being good at sales in any
Hmm.
capacity, because like in my mind, like I find myself more towards like the negative side of things, where it's like, yeah, realistically, you are probably paying more for this bathtub than you should be, and that's where the realist side came into it. And I was like, this is weird. But like, once I was able to like say that to someone and be like, hey, yeah, this is probably costing more than like you want it to, but like, hey, you are getting this, you are getting that, and you are getting this. And it's like, if you can afford it, like you can do it. And like once you were able to get past that kind of like, this is the negatives, but this is why it's still a positive for you, then I think people were very quick to be like, oh yeah, like that makes sense, like this guy knows what he's talking about.
Well, and I feel like that gets into like the sales techniques and stuff like that because I'm not a very great salesman. That's not my skill set. I like working with people. I'm very much like well, I mean, I guess I can be a good salesman if the product is really good and I really believe in it, which is
That
why I'm sitting here for Good Rep. And I'm like, hey, if you're a small business, we can help you. Come pay us because I'm not afraid to sell our services here.
So
But
before I came, sorry,
oh,
finish your
go
thought.
ahead.
Finish your thought. Okay, before I came to Xanadu, I had turned down a couple sales jobs
Yeah.
because it was like I was like, I don't. Yeah, like I think I am all right at sales, but on that same note, like if I don't believe in a product, honest to a fault and outspokenly honest in like situations like that, where I'll be like, yeah, this is kind of dog shit, dude. Like I wouldn't buy it either.
Yeah. Well, and it's there's a lot of not great products out there. There's a lot of like not great companies out there, and there's sadly just not a lot of great things to believe in and like want to produce, which is where you get into the idea of like being a small business. Like if you're going to be a small business, your greatest asset is that you are authentic and honest in the name of your brand. Like, hey, if I am going to start a lawn care company, I'm going to put my name and face out there and I'm going to stake my identity on this because that's what people want to see. Like they want to know that this matters to you and that like you care about this.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember who gave me the quote, but I heard it a while back, and it was like, I don't want to care about my lawn. I don't want to care about cutting it. I don't want to care about whatever, but I want it to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I want it to be taken care of. I don't want to care, but I want it to be taken care of. And that's what you hire a lawn care company for.
Yeah.
And who do you hire? Someone who cares, because they're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
They're not going to just do it to get it done. They're not going to whatever. They're going to do the little things that actually make it matter. And the same thing for massage therapy, like any type of small business. If you're a small business, ooh, what you got?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Someone attempted to open my door there.
Oh,
I was
you
like,
got a
I'm
ghost?
live. Huh?
I was like, you got a ghost?
I got ghosts. I had 2 ghosts playing video games in my living room.
See, I have 2 ghosts, but one of them's asleep right there, and he just loves to start fights.
Is the other one on the blue?
No, she's gone.
I saw her come in and go up there, but then I didn't see her leave.
Yeah, no, the one kitty is gone. She likes to sleep on the floor because she's a weirdo like that, man.
Carpet. Must like the carpet.
Like, well, we keep it clean. Dude, the thing with cats is I have to vacuum, like, not even kidding, every week, and if I don't do it like every week, it gets awful.
Yeah.
And I should do it twice a week. Like you said, when you're in sales, you make four or five every 4 or 5. You make a sale, and you're like, well, shit, why am I not making every 2 or 3? I'm vacuuming once a week, and I'm like, well, crap, it's not I should be vacuuming twice a week. There's always more to be done.
Always more. You can always go a little bit further.
Well, and I think that personally, like, let's not get philosophical here, but my biggest issue is like I am worried that there is always more that we can do, and this gets into the idea of like not being able to start something. Taking the first step on a journey is always the most difficult. Filming the first podcast, shooting the first short, making the first cheesecake, the first triple crust pizza is going to be the most difficult one.
I should go get that for lunch. I should make that today for lunch.
Did you go out and get all the things for it?
I didn't do it yesterday. No, I went and saw that movie and then didn't end up like you were
cooked.
I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Go figure. Well, I mean, hey, the challenge still stands, but also Demon Slayer movie, I've heard really good things so far. Like,
it was pretty
really good things.
It was pretty good. Some heavy, like, most of the backstory stuff that they kind of did in it was like all right, but then there was like one backstory that kind of felt like it ran on a little long. But that being said, it was the best backstory of all of the other backstories it did. So coming into it, I was like, man, I feel like Demon Slayer hasn't told us a lot of things to be in its like final arc movie like series, you know?
Yeah.
Because like this is like the final, like there's 3 movies coming out and that's the end of it, you know? And I'm like, there's still so much stuff we don't know. It's like there's gonna be lore dumping happening in the movies, which I find to be kind of crazy. And sure enough, there was, you know, like there's like techniques that like their people taught them that like they had never even talked about until like the movie.
Yeah. So 1 second. So Demon Slayer right now, it has their first season, and then they have a movie. Or is it first season, second season, movie, third season?
All the movies that they have done have just been like recaps of the seasons, other than this new movie that just came out.
Well, so Mugen Train was in a movie originally, and then they came out with like episodes.
But like every movie other than Infinity Castle, which like you know I just went and watched, is the same as watching the anime. Like you won't get any new anything. I've never watched them. I just know they're like the last 2 episodes of like the season before, and then like the first 2 episodes of the next, or they're like the entire Mugen Train arc.
So how many movies are there? How many episodes? Like How many seasons are there?
So there's
4?
4 seasons. The first season I think was like 24 episodes, and then like
Yeah.
the second one was like 8, and then the last 2 were like 12.
Okay.
It's not very long. It's not
Is
a
the
super
second
long
season the Mugen Train arc?
Yes, I believe.
Okay, so that's where I'm at. That's where I was like, I know I'm getting messed up somewhere in here because I know that first season, I know that whole first season arc, and then I know Mugen Train. I couldn't remember what happens after that, or if there's like an interlude in there.
Mugen Train, then the Entertainment District.
Yeah, Entertainment District, and the one after that. I watched Entertainment District.
Yeah.
I did not watch the one after that, and then the one after that leads into movie for final.
Yeah, so you get the like original season, Mugen Train, Entertainment District. Then the last season is split between the Swordsmith Village arc, where they like learn about like the people who make the katanas, and then the what's the other arc? The Hashira training arc.
Yeah,
And then after that, yeah, then it leads like the last episode of like all the episodes of all the TV anime ends directly going into the movie, which the movie, yeah, is a standalone, not anything from the seasons. It is fresh new content.
yeah, and they're gonna do movie for the finale,
Yes.
right?
There are 2 more movies that are coming out, so I understand. I thought at first it was only 2, but someone has told me that it's 3. So, and that makes sense because it feels like if there was only one more movie, they'd have a lot to kind of wrap up.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm kind of here for that. Like, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's just all action from like these last 3 movies, just action. That's all they're going to be.
Which I mean, the whole reason.
Demon Slayer, the appeal of Demon Slayer is the fighting.
Yeah, the
not
actual story is pretty mid, pretty mid, but the animation is just so good.
Yeah. Yo,
which
so
I mean,
I will admit there was like a certain character like comes online, like really like becomes like he goes from being like kind of like a joke character to like one of the coolest characters in the show. And
talk
like
about Panda. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's JJK.
Yeah, I know.
Zenitsu. And his fight was being touted to me like it's peak. It's going to be the best. It was all right. Like it could have been better. I think it could have been better. It's like these are like lightning people fighting. Their whole thing is speed. I wanted to see like the Entertainment District arc. You know when they're sitting there like ting 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 ting, ting back and forth really fast. I wanted to see that at like 2x speed. You know, like
you had some specifics you wanted to see.
Now do it faster. You know.
Oh, see, and I am excited to go and watch that eventually. I haven't watched the most recent season. That's where I fell off. I haven't watched much anime recently, in all honesty. But
I got another one I think you might like. It's not really like your slice of life ones that I know you like, but have you ever heard of Clevities?
What?
Clevities?
Clevities? No.
Yeah,
What's Clevities?
It's a 1-season anime. It's about like there's like these like 4 kind of like gods almost. They're like these like demon lord like things that like have these castles around the world, and like this group of adventurers are sent by the king. It's like the 12 strongest adventurers to kill the Clevities one that's like in their region, and they just get waxed immediately. They show up and he's like fools and just murders all 12 of them, and is like, wow, these guys are a little stronger though than I remember them being. They used to be ants. I used to have them on the same level as ants, but they definitely seem stronger now. And he's like, so I'm going to go investigate that. And he goes to like the castle where the king is and just demolishes it and kills the king and like takes his child and is like, okay, I'm going to raise this child, but like no one's going to know I'm raising this child. And like, I'm going to raise it to rule. And like I'm gonna kind of rule through it. And then he raises one of the heroes from the dead and is like, you're gonna make sure this child doesn't die, because if this child dies, I'm ending humanity. And then like I'll leave that. That's the plot that you get in the first episode. And then from
Is
there,
it finished?
No, it comes out every Wednesday, and I think there's like 3 more episodes.
Oh shit. Maybe that is worth watching. There's a bunch that I need to like catch up on. I have not watched anime in a hot second. I'm still working my way. So while we're off topic here, and we know, I want it to be known for everyone listening to the podcast, we know that we're off topic.
We know
it.
We know
We're gonna get back there. But if you're a small business owner, this is part of what being a small business owner is. You got to listen to people talk about things that don't have to do with you. And those
We're
things that don't have to
training
do
you.
with you are the things that we're going to connect on. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest. We're people. We're human beings. We exist outside of just our professions. Now, I would love to work on an anime like property and get that ranking on Google. Like, are you a trading card store that has anime figurines? Let's talk. I could get
Yeah,
you ranked on Google
let's
so
get it
quick.
going. Like, yeah, are you a like one of those like K-pop kind of pop-up stores or
Yeah,
whatever?
K-pop pop-up stores, dude. Well, so there's that one store in the mall. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
There's
kind of
like
over by
that.
FYE.
Yeah, no, well, not FYE, but like
No,
the one
no,
that's
not FYE. It's one over by FYE. Isn't? Oh no, you're talking about the
Riverside.
one that's literally in the old Bath Planet like shop. Like that, literally where it is where I used to work. Like
I
right
think
across from
so.
Von Maur, kind of
Now
by
that you're
Black
saying
Rock,
that, I am
right next
thinking
to where
that there
Black
is
Rock
one there
was.
where it has like a bunch of kawaii and like cutesy
Yeah,
like K-pop
yeah,
anime
like it's
stuff.
in that like little like strip right there where like if you would walk in the entrance where Black Rock used to be, and
Yeah,
then like you just like go like right past where Black Rock was on your right.
yeah,
Yeah, that was where Bath Planet was. That was where I used to work.
that's super funny. And they're putting Texas de Brazil into that location, right?
It's going into that location.
That BlackRock, that
Oh, into
BlackRock
that
is
Black
replaced
Rock.
with a
I
Texas de
thought I
Brazil.
thought you were saying like that, like my Bath Planet K-pop store.
Oh
I was
no,
like, what are they
Bad
going to
Planet
have three
K-pop, Texas
tables?
de
Do you have
Brazil.
to reserve it a year in advance? Like,
What?
I said, what are they going to have three tables? Do you have to like book it, reserve it a year in advance?
You know it, man. But no, it's going into that BlackRock that was right there. I'm
Nice.
actually super stoked. I am
It's,
excited
like
about
I
it.
know we've talked about like I know like our Discord was like, hey, we should all go there when it opens. I went and looked at it and I was like, I don't want to spend that much.
It
That's so expensive.
it is a pricey
It ain't gonna
freaking
be worth
place.
it. It ain't gonna be worth it.
So I will say the only time that I've had Texas de Brazil, it was probably one of the best dinners that I've ever had. It was in Vegas. It was with
$120.
I was free. Joe paid for it.
Um, yeah,
But it was all of us from the company. There were like 13 of us. And it was a really good time. It was
yeah.
we
Oh,
hung out.
I mean, everything tastes better when it's free.
Everything does taste better when it's free. Which, hey, Good Rep is going to Nashville. I'm excited for that.
Hey,
You excited for that?
in the Nashville. Uh, yeah, yeah, it'll be a good time.
It
I
should
mean,
be.
we're not going to be there for like a super long time.
No.
I don't think we're doing like a bunch of like crazy touristy things. We might do a few things, but like,
Yeah.
it'll be a good time. It'll be nice to kind of like kick back. I mean, I know like we're doing work while we're there, but also like I don't know how much work we can really do while we're there. Like what meetings are we doing while we're there?
It's
Like
gonna be
Joe ain't gonna take us for 8 hours.
oh, my brother.
I don't think he
You
is. I don't think he is.
you underestimate Joe. I've
I've
been on
never
a
I've
couple of
never
different
seen Joe able to like be locked onto a task for 8 hours.
I've been in a hotel room with Joe for 10 hours straight while we've sat there at our laptops and worked. 100%.
Thanks.
It is he not kidding, and
I'm gonna
he
show up to
will
Nashville like I was
actively be
supposed to bring
doing
my
different things.
laptop.
What?
I'm gonna show up to Nashville like, oh, I was supposed to bring my laptop. All I brought was my Steam Deck and Switch.
Oh, there might be that would be a moment.
I mean,
There
you
would be
never
a
told us we needed to bring our laptop.
this is this is the moment where I'm telling you that you need to bring your
Yeah,
laptop.
I tell Sam that too.
I was gonna say, Sam, I know you're listening. Your laptop is required in Nashville, good sir. Please and thank you. That's so funny. But with that said, yeah, no. If we're gonna be in Nashville, Good Rep in Nashville. We might
Nashville.
take some pictures. We might upload some of those. I do want to personally get our socials a little bit more active with some of our like
Us
humanity.
doing things, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
know we
agree.
do we do pretty aggressively with like the like marketing channels, and we do write articles, and we're doing a lot. But I almost feel like our
As far as our posts go, we're pretty faceless.
yeah.
Like we obviously, you and I are out here doing the lives, having our shorts out and stuff like that. But like if you were to go to like Good Rep Media's like Instagram and look at it, it's like, oh, this is like not real people. And I get that
Yeah.
because like, yeah, you
And
got to get more of
that's
us.
getting like almost super nitpicky because we are out here. And I did think it was super funny because we were hiring recently. And during hiring, I had a number of people reach out during the interview process and were like, hey, so I came across your YouTube channel. I came across your blah, blah, blah. And I checked it out. And I'm like, oh, great. Do you have any advice? Do you have suggestions? What do
Yeah,
you got
what could
for
we
us?
do? What could we do better? You know, yeah. Like, if you were hired, what suggestions would you make to?
It was part of the interview process.
Yeah,
Go check out and audit our YouTube channel. Please let
yeah.
us know what you would
Hey, we're
know.
actually hiring a new copywriter. Go ahead and write us 10 articles for this domain and tell us like what you do as an example. We might hire you.
Oh my gosh. And the thing is I've read some articles and they talk about that. Like I'm trying to think cuz normally I see these like stories on Reddit or like Facebook reposted, but it's like, "Hey, I've been applying for jobs for forever. I applied for this job with this marketing company and they had me go through and do a whole project and they agreed that they were going to pay me for the project. I thought it was the final round of interview, but in reality, they just got me to contract, do a bunch of work for them and left because they got to charge me less or they got to like pay for
Yeah, get free
$15 an
work out of
hour
me.
for
Yeah.
work and
Yeah.
they got me to do 10 hours of work for them for $150 and I'm like, "Oh, great." So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
you just did a round of interviews, and the fact that you didn't get any free work done out of that round of interviews is embarrassing, bro. It's
I,
embarrassing.
I apparently that's where we're at. That's where society in general is at, is getting the most out of the hiring process,
Yes, sir.
which we recently had one of our clients did some hiring and was going through some difficulties. You want to let's touch on that cuz you were going back and forth with them about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it was a pretty simple thing, you know. It was just one of those situations where, you know, he was excited to hire new people, but he kept kind of having like bad experiences with most of them, which I think by the end he had realized, oh, that is the majority. You know,
Mm.
like most people kind of suck. You know, and then like my job now is to find the good ones, find the
Well,
diamonds in the rough.
it's
And
I think it's worth noting in general because I compared this to dating in my head the other day and it's like, okay, so you're signing up for an interview at a job. It's like going on a first date. Those get canceled all the time. I mean, I assume. I haven't been dating in like 5 years.
yeah, no,
But
they
I
do, at
hear
least for me.
I was gonna say I hear stories. I
Yeah,
definitely hear stories. But it's
yeah,
like
as I
first
say,
dates get canceled, and it's because no one has any buy-in yet. And so when you apply for a job and they reach out and like, "Hey, you got an interview," you haven't bought into wanting that job yet. How much do you need that job? Are you doing something else? And all of a sudden, people get into this situation where they make up excuses to not do it. It's like, "Oh, I'm tired. I don't really need the job." It's like, oh, I'm tired. I don't really need to go on a date. I want to stay home. I'm not really feeling it. But stepping out of your comfort zone and doing those things, like you got to do those things. It's
yeah,
what makes you stand out.
yeah,
Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to make that
yeah.
comparison because it's
So,
not always the people, but they're not bad people, just
but
not the people
but
that you
that
want in that
being
position.
said, like if you can't grasp like how important a first impression is, like you
Yeah,
like
that's
that
not the
tells me
person
a
you want
lot
to work for
about
you.
your critical thinking ability, you know, and then like that's gonna hurt if you have to cancel if something comes up. And I think that there's ground like how do you handle that issue? You know, like if something comes up, if you have an issue come up that's like stopping you from being able to like make it to your first day or something, how do you correct that? Do you just go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this," or are you like, "Hey, I can't make it in, but I really want to get started, so like, you know, like I'm going to put in some extra time after, like, you know, when I can make it in, I'm going to put in some extra time, or, you know, tomorrow, can I come in early to make up for like whatever I didn't get to do on my first day?" And I'm using like a first day no show as an example because going off of
Yeah.
our client's experience, he got pretty upset. At first, like he got upset when like the person he was interested in was like ghosting him a little bit, and like he was like, "Oh man, I thought this person was gonna be awesome, and now they're not responding." He got a little bummed out by that, and then he got bummed out when he finally did get another person he was interested in to like be like, "Yeah, you're hired on, congratulations, come on," and then they missed their first day. like no call, no showed their first day.
Yeah.
And he was just like, well, this sucks, like I'm not hiring that person. And
Yeah, and I mean, that's a really difficult spot to be in because one, if someone no calls, no shows, and we went over this when we were talking about hiring for Good Rap, where there is a really there's a lot of people looking for jobs. There's a lot of people applying for these types of jobs. I ran an ad for 3 days and I had 460 applicants.
yeah,
So even going through all of those applications, if I reached out to you for an interview and you had to reschedule it, that was enough to be like in my head, okay,
yeah,
like
like I
sorry,
got I
I
got other people who are taking this more serious.
I maintained that interview. I went there, but that was something that I needed to be aware of. And is that
Yeah.
fair? Is that valid? I don't know that that's good,
I
but
mean, how could it
realistically, I
not
had
be fair when they had
460
just
people
as
to go
much
through.
of an opportunity as everyone else?
Well,
It is fair.
exactly. And at that point, when you realize and you look at it from like the hiring manager's perspective, the person who's actually looking at all of these resumes, anything you do that stands out in a negative way is going to be quick cause for not following up.
Yeah.
And
You know,
that's not great. That doesn't feel good, but I'm just being realistic with people. I had 460 people. Realistically, if I reached out to you and I scheduled an interview and you didn't show up, you were off my list 100% of the time.
yeah.
And I allowed them to reschedule, and if they showed up for that interview, I made time to do the interview, but none of those people in that interview were able to change my mind based on that. I didn't
Yeah.
cut them off. I didn't give them no time of day or anything like that. I still gave them the chance to interview, but you can't come back from a first impression of canceling that interview and not showing up. Like
Yeah.
that's just not a possibility.
To kind of tie some topics really quick,
Yeah.
Cody, have you ever been to like a job fair?
I've I have actually been to a few. It's been a long time, and I've
College,
been
right?
considering like once upon a time I would like to do one with Good Rap. Like
Yeah.
I want to do like a partnership or something like that with a local university and like do a job fair, like go present in a
Like
class because I think that'd be sick.
I have to imagine like people at a college job fair, maybe not as much, but like because like a lot of people are required to go to those in college. But
Mhm.
like if you were to go to like one that just exists in like a city or something, I have to imagine that those people you're seeing there are like while maybe some of them are hit or miss, there's got to be some real determination in those people because like
Well,
they're out there, they're going somewhere to like be like maybe I find a job
exactly.
here.
And
They're
it's
like better than just going on Indeed and clicking apply, 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 apply.
yeah, but I do want to I want to make sure that it's said and at least like talked about the whole idea of, oh, in the 90s and early 2000s you just print off your resume and you walk into a place and you hand it over.
Drop it
uh,
off.
that's not real.
No,
There are
maybe at a
some
mall,
places that can
maybe
still do that.
like a shoe store in the mall, maybe. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, and I know like if you want to go work at Gentex and go like manufacturing work, if you want to work on a line, if you want to get into a factory, you show up with a resume and be ready to work and they'll interview you 100%. But a professional level job these days, it's just not realistic. You can go into those places and attempt to hand off a resume, and the chances of you actually being able to find or speak to someone that is making decisions, knows anything, whatever it
Mm,
might be, is nearly impossible.
I mean,
Now, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the off like kind of what you said about like going to a factory and dropping off. Like even that's tough to do because a lot of like places like that now run through like temp agencies and stuff like
Yeah.
that, where it's like
Well,
you'll go there and be like, "Hey, this is great. We do want you," but like put that down at the temp agency that we want you. Like you're
exactly.
still gonna have to go through them.
Exactly. And they'll give you the next steps more than anything else. But I think what I'm trying to get at is that's not a realistic thing for you to go out and do these days. Now, are there things that you can definitely do? Yeah. It's not a dumb idea to try to go into a place and see if you can speak to someone. It's not dumb. It's
Right.
not bad advice. If you apply for a marketing job and it's in your city and they have an office location, go to
Yeah.
it.
Go there.
Go
Yeah.
not go say hi and be like, "Hey, I applied for a job online and I saw that you were local and I wanted to come check you out. Can I like talk to someone about your business for a second?" Don't be like, "I'm trying to find your hiring manager and get a job, blah blah." Express interest, make
I'm
a
a,
relationship and be a person.
I'm gonna
Like
preface what I'm about to say by saying this is probably bad advice. Walk in
what?
there super confidently and be like, "Hey, I'm your future new hire." Like, I just wanted to come see where I'm gonna be working.
I don't. Maybe that's not
Maybe,
my
I don't
vibe.
know. Maybe like you go in
Maybe.
there. I bet Joe saw you come in there and do that. He'd be like, "I like this
Yeah,
guy."
some
Be like,
people
hire him.
some people might like that, some people might not. It depends on the people, and it depends on who you are and what you're looking out for. Like if you're trying to be a salesman, walk into a place and be like, "I'm the best damn thing that happened to you. You want to
Yeah.
get me on the phones? I can sit down right now. What soft phone you use? You using Vici? I got experience. You using,
Just go in there and
Infobip?
be like,
What you got going on?"
I'm trying to get a vibe for your business to figure out if I want to accept the position when you offer it to me or not. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Like you can play it up as much as you want, but I guess the idea I'm trying to get across is don't sit there and print off a bunch of resumes. If you're Gen X, you're a boomer and you're like, go print off resumes and go. No. Go apply online like you should. Maybe write up and like email the hiring
I was
manager
gonna
if you
say
can find
email them
them.
out. Sure, why not email
Yeah,
them? You know?
email too. Like find someone who works there and like do that extra step. The issue becomes we're law of large numbering. I had 460 applicants. Do you think any of those 460 only applied for the job that I had posted? Or do you
You're
think they
right.
applied for 10, 20, 50 other
Exactly.
jobs on
I mean
Indeed?
that's like a big part of the problem I feel like with job hiring now is like it's so easy to just go to Indeed and just be like, it'll be like, here's 50 jobs in your area. And then it's like one button, apply, apply,
Yeah.
apply, apply, and it's like, and I did that with here, like I remember when Jamie called me and was like, hey, we want you to come in with an interview. And I was like, yeah, can you remind me what this is? And then she described it and I was like, yeah, I'll figure it out. Like I'll figure it out once I get there.
We'll see how real this is when we actually get in
Yeah.
there. Yep.
Yeah, I remember you and Micah both thought like when you guys showed up to the 3 Mile building, you're like, yeah, this is fake. This isn't this isn't
Well,
real.
so
Here we
I
are 4 years
didn't.
later.
I was gonna say my 5 year anniversary is actually next month. Believe it or not, both of ours because we started on the same day.
Yeah.
But I was more realistic. I think Micah went into it with the idea of like I'm gonna be home by 9:30. Like he
Didn't
very
he
much
like
was
he text um
Becky,
his
his partner.
significant other that like he's like, hey, I'm probably coming home pretty soon.
Yeah, he had a whole moment there. Oh, it was hilarious. But to bring it back around, you're a small business owner. You are interested in local events. Go find them. The main thing is to figure out what type of events that you can actually participate in, and then get out there and start networking and figuring out how to put them on.
Yeah. And
Food
I'd like
places,
to
rest.
also add, if
Oh
you
yeah,
go to one year, try to repeat every time that they do that event. Try and
yeah,
be there. Try and be a regular at that because like you'll get people who recognize you and
yeah.
like you create that brand recognition and then people will begin to approach you like, oh, I saw you here last year and I was curious and then I've thought about you ever since. I'm so happy you guys are here again. Um, like an example of that, I do used to do like large scale paintballing events.
Hmm.
And at those paintballing events, like there would be a bunch of vendors that would come and set up, trucks and stuff like that for you to buy gear. And we actually, there was a short term there where our team got sponsored by Tipman. If you've ever heard of like Tipman Paintball,
I have
because
actually.
like there was like a professional player that would come and like sell things there every year, and we would just talk to him each time. And then our team got sponsored by Tipman for like a year because of that. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's awesome. I love that. And I'm so thankful that they had their booth there every single year and we got to form that relationship.
Well, exactly. And being able to kind of set up a booth, make those relationships. I think of it because I go to Ren Fair every year. There's the same rock shop in Ren Fair. So we always go to the same rock shop. We spend like $100 every single year, like clockwork at that same shop because it's always there and we like them. We've chatted with the owners. We like the marketing that they do. And when you have that like consistently showing up, that consistent spot, you're doing some really good stuff, especially when it's an event. Like if you're going to be, I'm going to call them out, but not a brand that we work with, a brand I would love to work with, but they're the Rusted Rabbit. They're local here to Grand Rapids. They do a bunch of like wireframe jewelry, stones, bronze work, stuff like that. they always go to pretty much every single art festival in Grand Rapids. If
That
you go to a downtown festival here in the city, they have a booth. They will every single time. And
was that
then
the company that I remember, like when we went to Black Rock that one time in the
yeah,
mall, and they
they had
had
a
the
mall
little spot
kiosk.
in the center of the mall. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember it. I remember you
100%.
stopping at that.
And they stop, they'll do mall kiosks, they do pop-up shops, and that's what they do. They're a small business owner. They operate and create everything out of their home. They then do pop-up shops pretty much all over the place, and they consistently do events. And that's where all of their business comes from, is they have all of these relationships with these venues that will invite them out, and they're like, hey, you always come out, you pay your booth fee, people are always interested in what you've got, we have a great beneficial partnership. Like, hell yeah. And so you want to be that business.
Having a relationship with the place that's like hosting the event is huge too. Like, and that goes back to being like a reoccurring, like you go there every year. There's been times like at Bath Planet where like a booth next to us like canceled, and they came up and they were like, hey, we love you guys, like feel free to like expand your booth into their section. And it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's like a $400 upgrade a day, you know, like that we just
Yeah.
got.
And you just you get the opportunity when you're in those scenarios to do more than anything else. Like, I think that's one of the like skills, the philosophy things that I've learned working with Joe, is that we can do a lot. There's a lot that we're able to do. And when you come together with someone who does something else, like we work in marketing, now we get to come together with someone who does lawns. We get to come together, esthetician, massage therapy, on any of these like small businesses, lawyers, tree services, handymen, landscapers. Like we interact with them and they give us a different viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And I love being able to get that different viewpoint and kind of combine it together with what we've got going on. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, now our esthetician's like, I want to rent out a booth. And we're like, okay, hell yeah, let's do a booth at a Crunch Fitness, and we'll get you some special things, and we'll have the guys who come in, bring home a facial for your girlfriend, win a facial for your partner. Like, let's set this up and let's figure out how this works. And now she's building a relationship with this Crunch Fitness. She's working with some different ad agencies to get like magazine stuff going down there and print ads. And it's just fun. It's
Yeah.
interesting, cool stuff that I think when you're a small business and you get your business published in like an actual magazine for your local area, that's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
feels
No,
good.
it
And you
absolutely.
get business. Like,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
exactly. Exactly. You get that publicity, you get business, and it's a point of pride.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, it all branches out from each other. These companies, we always have relationships with other companies. The more relationships, the more networking that you can do, like the better. And so I think it comes back to, I mentioned Chamber of Commerce. If you can join the Chamber of Commerce and you can be involved and be like, hey, I'm a business owner, this is what I'm going through. Be outspoken, talk, be a part of that group. You'll be extremely surprised at how many business opportunities come through. And I mention that because I want to use an example. We have a massage therapist who got in with a big company, Steelcase, doing like corporate massage because he reached out to him. He built a relationship up with them. And he was like, yeah, okay. I knew this one manager, and the manager wanted to bring me in for a corporate massage. So I figured out how to make it work.
Yeah.
So that I can go into a workplace for a full day and massage the whole place, and like they can just buy my time for a day and I can make a whole bunch of money. Like, a great scenario for him to work out. Never would have happened without networking.
Nope.
Like, you
Exactly.
need to find that person and then build that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I exactly. I think like getting yourself out there, getting yourself in front of people is going to breed opportunities,
More
you
than
know, and
anything
then
else.
you gotta put yourself in a position to capitalize on them. And you won't have that opportunity until you get out there and do the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, our number one quote, I think, at Good Rep is "Do the thing."
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Get out there and do it, and like you'll find success. I truly believe that if like you stopping yourself, you'll find success.
Yeah. And I mean, more than anything else, be willing to learn, be willing to go out there and try it. If you try it and it's not working, change it up, do something
Yeah.
different. And
Experiment, play,
exactly.
figure it out. What do you got to lose besides
Oh
everything?
my
Maybe, I
gosh.
don't know.
We're going to end this on Letter Kenny's famous quote, figure it out.
Figure it out, bud.
But hey, it's been Jordan and Cody on the Good Rep Media
Another
Lunch with the
one slot
Boys
there.
podcast. We're going to be back next week on the Joey Matterhorn channel. We're going to be talking about some really cool things, some influencer related subjects. And then next week on Tuesday on this channel, we will be here talking live about some more small business. Are you waiting for the link? He's waiting for the link. Okay. Come chat with me. We're a small business marketing agency. Good Rep Media is here to help you rank better on Google. If you want your business to be ranked on Google My Business, if you want it to be ranked on Maps, if you want it to be on Apple, if you want people to search for My Business Near Me and you to show up number one, we can help you with that. So schedule.
Hey,
Come
you want to
check
show
us
up
out.
on Bing? If you want to show up on Bing, Yahoo, anything like that, come to us. We don't really do too much in looking into like how they differ, but we'll figure it out for you.
100%. Well,
that's our dedication to you.
That's our dedication to you. I will say, all of our clients have ranked really well on Bing. I was actually looking at that the
Bing
other
is
day.
crazy. Like Bing, for some reason, so I do my Friday gig, and they're like, yeah, all of a sudden we're just like ranking on Bing, and I'm like, am I doing something that Bing just fucking loves?
Well,
what am I doing? Like, do I need to become a Bing SEO specialist?
We're going to be figuring out Bing together here. But hey, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for joining us. Talk to you later.